Let's talk about iodine and what does it do. Well, iodine controls your thyroid and controls your temperature. It is involved in every cell in your body, but it's mainly stored in the thyroid and it's stored in your skin. Now, what it does, it controls the rate in which your organs work. So hypothyroidism means basically you've got very little iodine in your thyroid, so everything slows down. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're chronically deficient on iodine, well, then you're going to struggle losing weight. Now, here's something interesting. In 1936, the 74th Congress released a document 264, in case you want to look this up, and it was really showing signs of soil degradation, and that the average American, up to 50%, was really showing mineral deficiency, iodine being the most common one. Now, in 2004, the University of Texas released a 50-year study basically doing the same thing, saying that the minerals in soil were slowly disappearing, and up to 99% of the American public was already showing signs of chronic mineral deficiency. So from 1936 to 2004, nothing had been done. In actuality, they made it worse. In 1970, the American doctors started to tell the American people, lower your salt intake, hence citing high blood pressure. And also iodine in dough was replaced with a chemical called bromine. Now, bromine is a chemical that was approved by the FDA with no human trials, but it was banned through the rest of the world. Also, the Americans stopped eating Himalayan salt and sea salt, and they were starting to eat sodium chloride. Now, chloride and bromine is a blackhead enzyme, and what they do, they literally stop the absorption of iodine. So no longer were you eating iodine. If you were eating iodine accidentally through food, now you're also being blocked. So by the 1990s, goiters, which is basically iodine deficient, the thyroid swells, it's very hard to swallow and breathe. The American public, or the USDA, said we will put iodine back into the food source, hence you now see table salt with iodine added. But what they did was put in the absolute minimum, the recommended daily allowance, just to stave off this goiters. Now, in comparison to the Japan, we were eating up to 20,000 milligrams of sodium or iodine, and yet we can see the difference in as far as heart attacks, strokes, and all other diseases compared to Japan and the US. How do you know if you're iodine deficient? Well, there's two simple ways you could do it. You could measure your body temperature upon awakening for 10 days straight. If it's below average, that's a sign of iodine deficient. A second one that you could also do, if you take betadine, which is basically the orange stuff that you see surgeons use before they do the operation, if you put it on your forearm, if you leave it there for 8 hours, if it slowly disappears, that means the iodine in there is being absorbed into the skin. If it's completely gone within 24 hours, you were chronically iodine deficient. If you go to the hospital, you can ask for an iodine test, and what they do is they load you up on iodine and then measure the amount of iodine you pee out over a 24-hour period. If you pee out a lot of iodine, that means your thyroid had plenty. If you pee out very little, that means you were very deficient. Another classic sign is cold hands and feet. So again, now, where is the best sources of iodine? The sea. Anything that comes from sea, seaweed, seafood, these are great examples of iodine. Sea salt, plenty of sea salt on your food, and pink Himalayan salt. These salts are what we call micronized minerals. So there's 47 trace minerals in these salts. There's not a lot in there, but it's just enough for your body to, it's a proper balance of all the trace minerals that your body needs. So give that a go. So like I said, iodine controls your weight loss. If you're trying to lose weight and you can't figure out why it's not happening, you just may be iodine deficient. All right, thanks for listening.